One feels full when there is self-awareness. The awareness of my eternal self, feeling full with love and peace. And this awareness of the original self makes me feel very close to Baba. And in this fullness, I feel receiving power from Baba, and this closeness to Baba brings the feelings of fulfillment and the feelings of contentment and unlimited. And now, through my thoughts, my good feelings, I serve with my unlimited feelings of love and generosity. And now it is through my third eye. Look at everyone in their experience of eternal stage. So we all sit together with Baba, receiving and sharing with the world. So we now take Drishti from Baba.
हम सभी बाबा के लवलीन बच्चे, सदा बाबा के लव में, प्यार में खोए हुए, क्योंकि ये परमात्म प्यार बहुत कोटों में कोई को प्राप्त होता है, और वो कौन है? क्या कहेंगे? हम बच्चे, क्योंकि हम डायरेक्ट बाबा की पहली रचना, तो हमें सदा क्या याद रहता है? बाबा तो याद रहता ही है। बाबा के बिना तो कोई संसार ही नहीं है। बाबा ही हमारा संसार है, तो और तो कुछ है ही नहीं। संसार तो यही है जहां रह रहे हैं, बाकी तो है सूक्ष्म वतन व मूल वतन। तो हम लोगों ने सबने अनुभव किया है, सिर्फ सुना नहीं है, समझा नहीं है, अनुभवी मूर्त बन गए हैं कि बाबा के लव में लीन होने से कितनी मीठी लाइफ, कितनी प्यारी लाइफ का अनुभव होता है, जिसको बाबा इन शब्दों में कहते हैं कि तुम एक एक मेरा बच्चा, बेफिक्र बादशाह। तो सभी बेफिक्र बादशाह है कि थोड़ा थोड़ा कभी फिक्र आ जाता है। क्यों? कि हमारी जिम्मेवारी लेने वाला कौन? भगवान ने हमारे जीवन की जिम्मेवारी ली है। अगर हमने मन से अपने जीवन की जिम्मेवारी बाबा को दे दी, तो भगवान से बड़ा और कोई है क्या? लेकिन ये जरूर देखना है कि मैंने सचमुच बाबा को अपने जीवन की जिम्मेवारी दी है। कि कभी कभी की दी है, कभी बाबा को दी है, कभी थोड़े जो भी संसारिक बातें होती है, और हमारे सामने तो विशेष माया ही पेपर लेने वाली। जब बाबा को जिम्मेवारी दे दी, तो उसके आगे माया कुछ नहीं कर सकती।
Om Shanti. Welcome to Avyakti Parivar. Today's step 5, chapter 2. The story of immortality. The soul is an eternal traveler. Now we will listen to Mohini Didi.
Om Shanti. I felt that I must say Congratulations to everyone. We are very, very fortunate to receive this blessing from Baba, that we are able to not only recognize God, but I recognize my own self. We recognize ourselves. Because if I discovered, realized, became aware of who am I, then it's very, very easy for me to be close to God, to know God. And most interesting aspect is that who can tell me that who am I? When everyone is in body consciousness, they can only talk about what the soul is, but cannot say to me or to anyone that you are a soul and what is soul. So there is so many descriptions about the soul. First chapter of very famous scripture Gita talks all about is soul, its immortality, from where it began its journey. But it's not that by reading that one becomes or able to create self-awareness. So God himself has to tell, because he's the one who is forever an incorporeal being. His consciousness, supreme soul consciousness is only one God. So when he gives us knowledge, makes me aware of who am I, and gives full introduction of what the soul is. I was listening to the chapter this morning, then again I heard, because it's so beautiful, listening completely pure introduction of the soul. Even while listening, I just was having such beautiful experience of that when I know about the soul, I take the charge, I become the master. That's where not only story of immortality begins, but the journey of self-sovereignty begins. Then I come to know I am the one who is the master. I am the one who is actor. Body is just a costume. And I take body to play my part. There are so many concepts about soul, but majority of even scholars and scriptures say that mind is separate from the soul. So mind becomes pure, impure, not soul. Soul is immune to actions. So you do whatever you do, eat whatever you want. It doesn't affect the soul. Soul is immune. So there are so many concepts. But when Baba explains that the first very interesting experience happened is that when I know on my own self as a living being, We always knew that body is mortal, right? Because who lives forever? No one physically. Maximum 110 years, right? 14. Someone recently was 114, but still left body. So we knew about mortality of soul, but really never realized or created this awareness of immortality of my own self. And that is why my faith that who can give this knowledge? Only God. Because He is the one who is always a soul or incorporeal. So understanding of conscient being, a living being, which we know body is not, because body is from the elements. So it's not that your hand just works uh, or your brain thinks. To understand how things function, even for the intellect and the mind, scientists will look at your gray matter, white matter in the brain, and looking at that proportion, they tell how intelligent you are or not. And then we have now psychologists to talk lot about the mind, why someone is not happy, whatever reasons. They dig with so many vast knowledge. And that is why this knowledge is called spiritual knowledge, not scientist, not psychology. Spiritual knowledge is God gives the knowledge about what the soul is. So knowing that mind and intellect are as a soul, my abilities. So I have to use them. I have to create thoughts in my mind. So knowing what kind of thoughts I should create, of love, of peace, elevated, pure. Before I didn't know that, right? I thought mind has to think, right? Mind has to think. So whatever thoughts come in the mind, I have to accept it. Also the feelings. This is what I'm feeling. This is what feeling. I know now that some of the feelings I don't need to feel, right? They are from body consciousness. That means lack of self-respect. If I'm aware who am I all the time, I have self-respect. That means I know what I'm thinking. So I'm not being driven by the thoughts of the mind. I'm not governed by the thoughts of the mind. Because they keep fluctuating, then mood keep fluctuating, feelings keep fluctuating. But when I am aware of my own self, I'm very stable. But same is with the intellect, right? We gave so much to the intellect, so much to the intellect. And now we know that yes, knowledge is important for intellect, but silence also is very important for intellect. So before we keep listening, keep talking, keep listening, and now there is so much pull to have quiet mind, silent intellect, and still I'm learning and doing. So one is just knowing what intellect is. Other is even how to have not only ordinary intellect, but pure divine intellect. And then using power to discern from that pure intellect. than ordinary intellect. And then this whole total awareness all the time, whatever I am saying, seeing, or doing are becoming part of me in the form of sanskars. They are becoming part of me. So then we keep creating our eternal awareness of I am loveful, peaceful, because I want my thoughts, my listening, my seeing, which helps me to remain full with love and peace. Because that's what we say, loveful, peaceful, right? So yes, there is love, but to remain full of love. Really, that's the stage of complete stage, perfect stage, where I just feel there is only love. So self-realization, then they say, is brings the God realization. But first self has to be realized. But God has to make me realize. Later on, when we will be able to think more about how the sanskars are created. And sanskars are my main property. Same like stock, like I'm putting everything in sanskar. So what do I want in my life? That's what I have to put in my stock, right? I want peace, but I get peaceless. My peaceless thoughts get disturbed very quickly. So what you carrying? What is in your stock? Wrong goods, right? So as much I understand who am I and what I am in the sense of my abilities, my power. So that is where the sovereignty begins. I am the master of this body. I am independent, even if I am using this body. Body is dependent on mind, on the soul, but soul is not dependent on body. I am the one who has to play part, not that body makes me play my part, right? More we think about this, I think it's very good opportunity for us to listen to that chapter on the soul, which we were doing for today. You listen. The original one is so beautiful. It really gives you experience. But not only that, but whatever we haven't been able to, whatever percentage, I'm not soul conscious. I think it's a good time, another opportunity to make soul consciousness very natural and consistent. Because I am soul, right? And in soul consciousness, when we do actions, the sanskars which we will create will replace all the sanskars of body consciousness. There is lot of love for all the souls, but there is no attachment. Yes, I need treasures. So I feel full, always protected by Baba, imperishable treasures, but no greed. So every virtue when I use in actions removes all the alloy of vices And purity, of course, is the main power of the soul. So purity, peace, love is what I am. So these feelings of self-sovereignty, which keeps me in self-respect, whatever anyone says or do, if I'm in self-respect, I'm in my eternal self, so that I can constantly be a ruler, happy, peaceful, and full. When I'm full, I'm a donor. Right? When you are full, you want to give, right? Want to share, you want to do charity. So our treasure stores of sanskar remain full with God's love, love for all the souls. And that's what I share with everyone. So take chance these few weeks to make your stage of soul consciousness very, very natural. Of course, what we are hearing is when did we start in the beginning. That's good to go back there. But also at present, how I can do more subtle efforts and create this stage of soul consciousness, of immortality and self-sovereignty. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you, Didi. So now we will invite our two angels to take us to our journey. Welcome.
Step 5, opening the eye of recognition.
I like this new awareness, but it's very slippery and not so easy to shift from body consciousness to soul consciousness. I think I may need some help with this. Am I supposed to just forget my body?
Yours is a very valuable body, and so you must not be distressed by it. Recognize its value and take good care of it. It is through your present body that you recognize the Father. You recognize the self, and you recognize that time is auspicious. It is in your body that you are able to transform your consciousness.
I am glad that you have explained this, because it seems that it's important to understand that the body is valuable and I have to look after it.
I give this advice to souls. Children, be soul conscious. Stop being body conscious. At the moment, souls are unable to go beyond the consciousness of the body and the limitations of the material world. There is now no strength left in souls at all. Sweetest child, let your eye of recognition meet the Father's eye. I am the one who gives you the realization that you are a soul who has equal rights to my inheritance. And this is the time to claim it. Become soul conscious and let your eye of recognition see me, know me, and belong to me, the Supreme Soul. Each soul has a right to the inheritance from the Father. The first inheritance is knowledge. Your second inheritance is powers. And the third is divine virtues. The knowledge, powers, and virtues are within the Father. They are also within you, the child. Knowledge opens the third eye of the soul through which you have realization. Through this experience yourself, you experience yourself to be an elevated being, and your original identity to be a soul. I will you my powers for you to put them into a practical form. You, the soul, are making the one who makes your body work. Who are you? You are a special soul, a master almighty authority. By remaining aware of your being a master, your subtle servers of the mind, intellect, and sanskaras will be under your control. This is called the stage of a self-sovereign. I will explain to you about these subtle servers in your next lesson. I think that this is enough for today.
I see now that when I am conscious, so conscious, my eye of recognition, my third eye is open, and I use this eye to see differently. It is like the invisible becoming visible. I am beginning to know my true self and to know the Supreme Soul as he truly is.
So we'd like to invite Sister Rona to join us at this time.
Hello, Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, Rona. Om Shanti. Welcome. So, as you know, this evening we're talking about, this third eye that we have, the gift that we have received from Baba. And we wondered, how do you know when the third eye of recognition is opened versus being closed? I know this is a little tricky question, but maybe you could, if you can answer that, maybe you could give some examples of it.
Well, this third eye, of course, the intellect, there are two aspects to it, understanding and sight or perception. What is your perspective on life? And one way I clearly distinguish if there is that divine intellect working, that paras that alchemist intellect is open, active, unlocked, as Baba said this morning in the Murli. It's when there is clearly the experience of everything in the physical dimension is extra. There is a deeper feeling inside of the immortal, timeless traveler, the being who belongs to that home and to God, doesn't really need anything from this world. It's just here to experiment, to play, to interact, but I don't really need anything. So anytime when there is a feeling of need or some obsessive, repetitive thoughts or images, clearly intellect is locked. Clearly that eye is not open. And so to be able in every situation see the broader perspective and the bigger perspective and the perspective from the beyond, Baba's perspective, then I know the eye is open. And it translates in feelings of contentment under provocation. A deeper joy, even though the scenes of the drama may be very provocative. and especially towards Rona, there may be all kinds of situations going on for Rona or for this body. Deeper inside, there is the clarity that this is just a story being acted out, a drama.
Yeah. So, and what happens, Rona, when you realize that, that we begin the day, and after Amrit Vela, we listen to the Murli. We're right there. Everything's we're wide open, right? We're seeing everything and churning the Murli and doing things, and then we go out and about. What happens, and what do you actually do if you find that you've gone out of that space of being in the stage of soul consciousness? How do you bring yourself back to it?
Well, there is for a long time now the ongoing practice to see the as if parallel worlds. No? There is the physical dimension and there is the invisible dimension. And there is the constant training, and this for a long period of time, to see both. And little yuktis help to get back, like traffic control, or this habit every hour, at least 1 minute, create with concentration and with accuracy that full blast clarity. And this little slogan, how would Baba see, or how is he from the home, how would Shiv Baba perceive this whole scene as if from beyond? Little or sketches that I stick on the computer, little drawings in my notebook or on the wall that help me remember, stay in that perspective of there is the visible, physical, tangible, manifest world, and there is the invisible dimension. And just a drawing or a sketch, a few lines already helped me remember.
That's really beautiful. For years in my notebook, I've always drawn pictures as I'm taking notes in the Murli. And when I forget during the day, when I'm so busy, and if you sometimes to go back and remember a point can be takes a few minutes, but remember the picture in a second. It's like magic, just magical. So
and also the aspect of fun and lightness and humor and playfulness, and just these thick figures, a few lines. It brings that lightness, but it also brings, it brings you back in that detached observer type of awareness.
Well, very beautiful. So thank you very much for sharing. It was wonderful. And we'll see you again tomorrow night, right? Very good. Thank you. Om Shanti.
Yes. Om
Shanti.
Thank you. That was very beautiful to listen to. And Rita, I'm very glad to hear that you draw. So perhaps you're going to try doing one of those illuminations on your experience for your homework.
That's a little tricky, I think, but I may try it.
It can be very simple. You can even do stick people, like Rona was saying. Anyway.
Sketches.
Sketches, that's right. So let's look at our homework, our quest for tomorrow. So first of all, of course, we have our godly dawn point. And the point for tomorrow is let your third eye of recognition see me, know me, and belong to me. Let your third eye of recognition see me, know me, and belong to me. And as we travel through our day tomorrow, our traffic control, switch the switch from body consciousness to soul consciousness within a second. And our night reflection. Knowledge opens the third eye of the soul. Through this, you recognize and experience your original identity. Did you experience soul consciousness? Did the experience of soul consciousness make you more aware of your powers and virtues? And so again, you can write down in 8 words that describe you're using the use of these powers and virtues, or you can do that illumination, that one word that will describe your feelings and experiences of using your powers and virtues as you become more and more soul conscious. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you very much, Sister Julia, Sister Rita, and Sister Rona, 3 angels. And it was wonderful sharing and journey within ourselves, the soul consciousness. So we are enjoying and more to come. So now let's start our Avyakti journey. Welcome to Avyakti journey. Today is something new. We have Mama's Murli, the lucky star who could speak God's language.
सारा जग समा गया जो भी आया गोद में तेरी हर गम भुला गया ममता तेरी इतनी गहरी सारा जग समा गया जो भी आया गोद में तेरी हर गम भुला गया ममता तेरी
टुकड़ी उठाए ना तो अभी समझ आई है ना तो आई एम सोल सन ऑफ सुप्रीम सोल उससे हमें फायदा भी है और हम ऐसे रहने से हम अपना अधिकार लेंगे बाप से तो ये तो अच्छी बात है ना तो खाली हैबिट बदलने की है बस और कुछ क्या करना है कहीं पूछते नहीं क्या पुरुषार्थ करे बोला ये तो सुना अब घर को जाके क्या फिर पीछे क्या करें वो समझ से कोई साधन दे दे कोई मंत्र दे दे या कुछ सुना दे फिर जा करके करे नहीं यही निरंतर मंत्र है ना ये महामंत्र निरंतर जाप रखने का मतलब जाप कोई कहने का नहीं है लेकिन ध्यान रखना है अटेंशन तो ये हर वक्त अटेंशन रखना और इसी की प्रैक्टिस में रहना, इन्हीं को कहा जाता है योग, इन्हीं को कहा जाता है। ये इसी योग का ये ज्ञान जो सुन रहे हैं, बाकी योग कोई ऐसे तो या आसन दबा बैठो या ये कर बैठो या बैठ कर करके कोई दीवा जगा कर करके कहो, हाँ तो आई एम दैट, आई एम दैट, आई एम दैट, हाँ आई एम दैट व्हाट, उसका भी पता होना चाहिए। आई एम दैट की जोत, बस उसी में ध्यान रखे, जोत यहाँ ये माला से मेरे आई एम, बस राम 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 राम, क्या बस ऐसा ऐसा वो खाली 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 राम राम, ऐसा खाली मुख तो नहीं चलाना है, अपना बुद्धि, जिससे हमारा योग राइटियस रहेगा ना। जब तक बुद्धि नहीं है, इससे हम डिटैच होकर करके उसके साथ बुद्धि नहीं जोड़ी है, उसने तो कितना भी राम 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 लाखों करे ना, तो क्या हुआ? ये तो खाली मुख बतलाया ना, उसने तो बेचारे ऐसी अपनी जपा जाप की प्रैक्टिस बनाई थी, उसका अपने आप राम चलता था, जपने की भी दरकार नहीं है, अपने आप उसने ऐसा बना दिया था अपना प्रैक्टिस, तो उसकी चलती थी। तो अच्छी प्रैक्टिस, उससे तो सब ऐसे बना दे तो राम राम ऑटोमेटिक चलता रहेगा, वो ऑटोमेटिक मशीन। ये तो चला नहीं, उसने तो बेचारे ने ऑटोमेटिक प्रैक्टिस की थी, ऑटोमेटिक मशीन से चलता ही रहता था। उसने शास्त्रों में पढ़ा है ना, जपा जाप, यानी जपे नहीं परंतु जाप चलता रहे। तो उसने बैठ कर करके उससे वो बात को इसी तरह से बनाया, उसका अर्थ निकाला, देखो कैसा अच्छा निकाला। परंतु फिर मुख से गाली देना, ये करना वो करना, उसे तो अपना विक्रम बनाना, ये तो राइट नहीं है ना। तो ये सभी चीजें समझने की है बहुत अच्छी तरह से, इसीलिए बाप कहते हैं अपने को राइट जैसा भी उसी तरीके से कैसा चलना, उसी में चल कर करके और अपना बनाते रहना है। तो ये है अपना स्टेटस बनाने की अथवा अपना प्रैक्टिकल लाइफ बनाने की ये पुरुषार्थ, जिसको बना कर करके और ऐसे लाइफ से अपने को ऊंचा करना है, क्योंकि हमारा सारा दारो मदार इन्हीं कर्मों के ऊपर है ना। और कर्म हमारा सारा दिन, हम कर्म में तो रहते ही हैं, किसी के बोलचाल में, किसी के काम में, किसी के रिश्ते में हमारा तो कांटेक्ट है, उसी में हमको सारा संभाल कर करके उसी में, इसके लिए हमको खास थोड़ी बैठ के कुछ करना है भाई, खास कोई कर्म करे या कोई खास पठन पाठन या खास कोई पूजन, कुछ नहीं। ये हमारी पूजा है, हम आत्मा को देखें, सब ये आत्माएं हैं, उन्हीं आत्माओं से हमारा कैसा बर्ताव चलना चाहिए, यही हमारा जो प्रैक्टिकल है, उन्हीं में हम कैसे बर्ताव में रहें, इसी में हमको अपना कर्म श्रेष्ठ बनाना है और उसी में हमारा नेचुरल है रास्ता देवे। तो हमारी ये सर्विस चलेंगी, इसको भी समझाएंगे, कोई मिलेगा तो क्या करेंगे, उसको भी बैठ के यही है काम हुआ, अच्छा काम अपन कहेंगे, अच्छा रो आप बैठो एक बात सुनाए तुमको, हाँ हुआ था, तुम कौन है, चलो आपको जरा बाप का तो परिचय दें, अब बड़ा खुश हो जाएगा। हाँ, किसको वो नशा चढ़ा दे और किसको बैठ कर करके ये दो बात भी इशारे में समझा दे ना, वो बड़ा वो कहेगा ये तो बड़ा कोई फरिश्ता है, एकदम उसके लिए भी रिकॉर्ड बैठेगा। कोई बड़े लड़ने झगड़ने वाले होगा ना, हाँ किससे ऐसे प्रेम से ऐसा बैठ करके बात करे, वो उनका मित्र बन जाएगा। ये अपने में टैक्ट चाहिए और अपने में जरा हिम्मत और वो पावर भी चाहिए ना, तो उससे हम दुश्मन को अपना सजन बना सकते हैं। तो ये अपने पास सभी बातें चाहिए ना, बाकी ऐसे ही थोड़े बस ऐसा खाली किया हो तो करते 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 तो देखो दुनिया नीचे ही पड़ गई। ये तो अपना उसी में आना है, ये तो रियल है ना, चैतन्य हम आत्मा है और चैतन्य पिता के साथ, बाकी कोई जड़ दीवे के साथ या जड़ मूर्ति के साथ या कोई जड़ माला के साथ, उसी के साथ तो योग की बात नहीं है ना। ये हमारा चैतन्य, तो उससे हमको चैतन्य पावर मिलता है। तो हमको जब है सच्चित आनंद स्वरूप कहते हैं नहीं, उसी चैतन्य परमात्मा के साथ हम चैतन्य आत्मा का संबंध चाहिए। इसको हम संबंध कहो या योग कहो, बात एक ही है। तो हमारा रिलेशन उसके साथ, योग का मतलब ही क्या है, योग का है दो चीज, योग का अर्थ भी आता है कि दो चीज होनी है, किसका किसके साथ योग, योग का मतलब है संबंध। तो जो संबंध में तो दो चीज होंगी ना, संबंध हो अकेला संबंध क्या, और संबंध तो दो चीज है, तो दो चाहिए ना, तो बाप और हम बेटे, तो संबंध चाहिए, उससे रिलेशन चाहिए, तो उससे हम संबंध कहो या योग को बात एक। तो हमारा योग उससे बैठे माना उससे संबंध बैठे नहीं, तो संबंध के लिए हमको नॉलेज चाहिए, परिचय चाहिए, तब तो उसके साथ बैठेगा ना। तो बाप बैठ करके समझाते, इसीलिए ये ज्ञान देता है कि यथार्थ तेरा मेरे से योग कैसे बैठे, वो बैठ करके समझाते।
माँ की ममता क्या होती है, माँ तुझ में हमने देखा। माँ की ममता क्या होती है, माँ तुझ में हमने देखा। हे जगदम्बे तेरी गोद में सब जग को पलते देखा। माँ की ममता क्या होती है, माँ तुझ में हमने देखा।
Beautiful, right? Mama's Murli, she was the amazing. The way she used to speak and she used to explain every little thing. So thank you. So now we will remember Baba. But before that, I just want to remind you all that soon on Sunday, May 9th, we'll take Drishti, share Drishti, request everyone to turn on your video. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti and everyone, good night. It was lovely to hear Mama, right? Mama was given the name Saraswati, no? Goddess of knowledge, understood knowledge accurately and shares in a simple way. So good night, everyone. Om Shanti.